Have you ever found yourself feeling a little anxious, a little stressed, and then you go pick up one of these things right here? You start scrolling, and at first it feels really good because you've got your phone and everything kind of fades away. It's relaxing, but then after a while of scrolling your phone, you look down at the time and it's been an hour, it's been 30 minutes, it's been an hour and a half, and you realize you have just scrolled away, totally zoned out on the phone. Well, if this has happened to you, you are, well, on one hand, completely normal, even though it's debatable if this is a normal activity. It's something that a lot of people are finding themselves doing, getting caught up in the game of scrolling social media, diving in for information, watching videos all the time. It's very common, but it also comes with some serious downsides. Increases in mental health challenges, anxiety, stress, depression, all of these things have been on the rise. At the same time, we've been engaging more and more with technology. So what's the solution to this? Well, there may not be one silver bullet solution, but something that many people have been doing is using the power of a digital detox. What is a digital detox, you might ask? Well, that's what we're going to get into in this episode. So welcome to Minimal Dose, where we take big ideas and we distill them down into simple insights and actionable steps. My name is Blake, and I'm going to be your guide on this short journey over the next few minutes as we talk about the power of the digital detox. So why are so many people getting into this idea of wanting to separate themselves from technology? Well, on one hand, we're completely overwhelmed in the modern world by access to screens, information, notifications. Whether it's for work, social purposes, tracking the news, whatever it is, there is a constant draw to us looking into screens, listening to podcasts just like this one, watching videos, whatever you may be doing. There's this constant pull. And while there's a lot of good in that, if we're not careful, we get totally wrapped up. We get in this cycle of living off of our phones. How on earth do you break out of this without becoming a monk, without going on a 14-day silent retreat, without throwing all your technology out the window and burning everything? How can you actually get a break from the noise? That's where the idea of the digital detox comes in. And before we break down exactly how you can do your own digital detox, how this can impact your life, I want to share with you a few of the things that are connected to and we're seeing rise up in our increasingly digital, screen-connected age. Here's some of the things that we're seeing connected to actually overusing screens that you may have experienced yourself. I know I've experienced a few of these things, but one of them is cognitive fatigue. Cognitive fatigue, this idea that just like our physical bodies get tired, you can mentally get exhausted. If you've ever felt that way where you've been like, I haven't even done anything today, but I just feel exhausted because I've been on my computer, I've been on my phone all day. Cognitive fatigue is on the rise. Another thing we've seen, and this won't be a surprise to anyone, is increases in stress and anxiety, directly correlated with an increase in tech usage. Poor sleep quality and a reduction in what we would call overall real world connections, real relationships with people that we're doing face to face has actually gone down. So in the face of some of these things, what is the answer? Is it throwing all the technology out? Is it getting rid of the screens? Is it going to live in the woods? Well, for most of us, that is probably not realistic or maybe even the best idea. But what you can do is you can actually begin to put in boundaries and be more intentional with how you use technology. And that's where the concept of the digital detox comes in. We're gonna help you set up a digital detox with 4 easy ideas, because you may not throw out all the phones, you may not go live in the woods, but you can do one of these very simple things. So here's the first one. It's to create a box for your phone that you can lock it away in to have intentional time when you're with people. That may sound ridiculous to some of you, but for others, it's exactly what you need. Because when you tell yourself, all right, I'm just gonna put my phone face down, I'm not gonna touch it, or I'm gonna put it in my pocket, or I'm gonna put it in my bag, inevitably it buzzes, or you see that screen light up, or it's right there, it's accessible to you, you go right back to it. The idea of actually creating a place, maybe it's literally a shoebox that you put your phone in, and then you set it to the side. It does something psychologically for you. This has to go back to things like habit formation and psychological ideas that impact our environment. When you actually put the phone away, you set it to the side in a different space, you now mentally free yourself up to be present and break that current or that continuous urge to go right back to your phone. So you create a phone box, you use it in intentional environments, and just like that, you begin to detox that area of your life where tech is no longer driving all of your urges and all of your attention, and you're more present and freed up for the present moment. The second thing you can do, and it's somewhat similar, but it's a different context, is to put your phone to bed at night. This is a weird one. Like, think about your phone as a little baby. You have to actually put it away and tuck it in its bed before you go to bed. Because so much what we do is we go to bed with our phone. Our phone is right there in our hand to the moment we fade out and go to sleep. It's like right alongside us. What if you just began every night? The simplest thing you can do is you put your phone to bed 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour before you go to bed. Set your alarms, do all your notifications, get whatever you need to do done, and then the phone's asleep. And then you go to sleep after that. It's a powerful idea of just putting your phone to bed. The third idea you may want to pick up is replacement activities. One of the hardest things you can do is just say, all right, I'm going to stop doing this thing and not replace it with anything, right? When you just take away something, but you don't replace it, now you're just filling that gap. What's going to go there? Pick a replacement activity. This is one of the forgotten things that so many of us used to tap into, but we don't anymore, which is reading a book. I can't tell you how many books I used to read before my smartphone started to replace so much of my attention and my time. When you put down your phone and you get your head back in a book, now you've actually refilled that gap that you've created. So you're not sitting around twiddling your thumbs, wondering what to do, inevitably going back to screens, but you have something new and interesting that you can start diving into and giving your brain something to chew on. And then here's the fourth one. I think this one's actually really fun. It's taking the time to turn your smartphone into a dumb phone. And if you've looked into getting a flip phone before and you go, how do I make that work? How do I actually get a flip phone? I can't do life with that. This might be the perfect thing for you. There are apps out there. You can find them on iPhone. You can find them on Android. There are apps that actually turn your smartphone into a dumb phone. They take all your apps, they take all your notifications, they dim the brightness, they do all of the things that make your device so much less stimulating and addictive. However, you can still use it to get everything done that you need to. So you might take the time to turn your smartphone into a dumb phone and then feel like you actually become smarter and not dumber for doing so. But any of these four might be applicable for you. You don't have to take all four, but if you take one and you implement it in your life, you start to detox just a little bit, you might find yourself gaining momentum in other areas that you didn't expect. You might actually find that this has a compounding effect, that once you get a little bit of space from screens, from that stimulation, it leads to more creativity, more presence, more energy, your mind being freed up for more activities. And this can be a powerful force for you. So I hope that in some way, even if it's small, you jump in on this idea of taking a digital detox. Let me know how it goes. Thanks so much for listening. This has been Blake with Minimal Dose. It's a great life.